Hey guys, Yankee here, and today I want to be giving my thoughts on Justice League International Book 2, Around the World. This is the final trade in this line of trades. They were discontinued after this, and then they did some Omnis, which I think collects all of the Giffen and the Mateus stuff now. Or, at the time of this recording, the third Omni might not be out yet, but by the time this is uploaded, it's probably out. And I'm kind of bummed that this is all we got in this format. I don't like hardcovers. I'm not going to buy an Omni. So this is basically where my time with this series stops. And I'm kind of bummed about that because I've really come to enjoy the team. I picked these up to read about Booster Gold, Blue Beetle. Those were characters I was interested in, and this was a series that sort of created the friendship that I was interested in reading about. And I got a lot of them, but I also really started to like a bunch of other characters in this. So it's unfortunate that this is where these trades end. So we have a few different story arcs that are picked up on, like plots picked up from previous volumes. The last volume ended with, what was it? Mr. Miracle got kidnapped and was going to be sold somewhere. I don't remember if we knew at the time that they were going to try and sell him to Apocalypse, to Darkseid. But that's where they're going. And so we get like a little arc on Apocalypse. Lobo shows up for a minute because he's another Keith Giffen invented character. He's interesting. He's a character I'm not really interested in, but I enjoyed him in this. And I'm interested in checking out maybe there's a Lobo softcover compendium coming out with like 1,000 pages that I'm kind of interested in maybe checking out when that comes out. But he appeared for a few issues. He hits Guy Gardner on the head, and so we've got old Guy back. He'd been nice Guy Gardner for like, I think a year worth of issues. So it's nice to have Guy back. Fire and Ice are like really integrating with the team, and that's cool. We pick up on stuff from, Bialia, and bring that back into the story, and then we get a huge, not upgrade, what am I trying to think? We get like a bunch of new recruits for the team, and we get the team to split off into sort of two teams. Justice League International was like 20 issues maybe in this, and then it gets or not 20 issues in this, but like up to like issue 20, and then it gets renamed to Justice League America, and we get a second book, Justice League Europe, which is cool. Like, that makes sense. So you want to have like this big global Justice League that's like working with the UN and stuff. You're going to have different groups all over the place if you can. So that was really cool. The big problem with this is a similar one that was in the last volume, is where like events happen and they're not really informed in the comics very well. So I think it's the first annual in this, the first Justice League International annual in this book, it ends with like just some weird flash of light, and there's no explanation for what that is, and I just sort of have to piece it together after the fact. And from sort of what I pieced together and after doing like a Google search, is like that flash of light gave people powers or enhanced people's powers. So Maxwell Lord was getting superpowers because of that. Fire is getting upgraded powers because of that. She used to just be able to sort of shoot fire like out of her hands. Now she can go like full Human Torch and engulf herself in flames. They don't really touch on that much in the book. We just sort of like, okay, something happened and now Max has powers and Fire has different powers. So that's a bit of a pain. There's also something like that when we switch to Justice League Europe. So Captain Atom had been a part of the Justice League International for a little while. I think as from issue 8 until the split here. And then when we get to Justice League Europe, he is now the leader of that team, and there's suddenly like distrust between him and the Justice League because he was apparently informing the U.S. government about things that he's doing, and like his character is different, and it's odd. I just don't know what's going on with that. Maybe I missed something and that's in the book, but it seems like something that happened in an event that I didn't read. But that out of the way, there's some interesting stuff going on in here, right? Max Lord getting powers was interesting. We get an interesting issue where in the midst of his powers, like, manifesting, he goes back to the cave where he found the computer from that one guy from Apocalypse. I don't remember his name. And so he goes there and like confronts it, and it's been destroyed basically. He puts it together as best he can, and then it explodes and he's trapped. And with his new like psychic powers, he calls out for help, and he ends up calling out to Blue Beetle, who comes and saves him. Cool. A lot of cool Blue Beetle and Fire stuff in this, and Max Lord stuff. Like that issue with Maxwell Lord is probably one of my favorites from this trade. Blue Beetle, we pick up on some stuff that happened in the past. In Volume 1, they were in Bialya. Booster Gold, Blue Beetle got captured and put in prison. We sort of build on that by saying, like, alright, they weren't just in prison. Blue Beetle was brainwashed, and now he's like a sleeper agent, and whenever Queen Bee or somebody calls and says a specific message, he becomes a killer, and he tries to attack whoever they want. And in this case, he goes after Maxwell Lord. Which is really interesting, because that comes after the issue where Max is trapped, and he's calling out for help, and then Blue Beetle's the one that hears him and comes and helps him. Well, now we got Blue Beetle trying to kill Max. And we have like a few issues sort of dealing with that, trying to free him from this brainwashing, basically. We call in Amanda Waller, who we know her and Max have some sort of history from the previous volume. And then eventually we get Dr. Fate, kind of, to come and try and free him with like magic stuff. So that's all really cool. And so while Blue Beetle's going through it with like mind washing and stuff, or brainwashing, we have Fire sort of struggling with these new powers that are manifesting, and she's just sort of Blue Beetle is locked away because he's dangerous. Fire is locked away because she's also dangerous. She's got this new ability that she doesn't know how to control. And there's a really good scene where Booster Gold and Ice are at like a bar or something, and they're just sort of talking and sort of frustrated that they're unable to like see them right now. And I think that's really good. So yeah, all the JLI stuff, really great. Justice League Europe, this is where it kind of loses me a bit. It was okay, but none of the stuff there really hooked me very good. There was like bringing up some stuff with Bialya again, and Queen Bee was cool. Basically getting them to a point where Bialya is sort of getting their hands out of the pot, right? They're stopping to try and like mess with the Justice League for the time being. Not really like, they're not at peace with each other, but they're like staying out of everybody's business for the time being. Cool. What is his name? The Irish guy, Jack-o'-lantern, was that his name? He gets killed, and Queen Bee also kills some alien she had working with him, which I think was from the event. Is it called Annihilation? Is that what that event's called? I don't remember. But anyway, sort of in getting the Justice League off her back, she made a promise to get rid of Jack-o'-lantern and this alien guy, and she just kills them and then goes about her business. And we are done with that for the time being. So that was cool. And then we just get like a one-off issue with like, what is it? The League of Villains or something like that, which also appeared in an annual about halfway through this book. At the annual where the Flash happens and people are getting new powers. Overall, I think this trade's really good. The Justice League Europe stuff didn't win me over as much as like the Justice League International stuff. I don't know, it just didn't click with me the same way. But overall, this book is really good, and it's really good at... I just lucked out, and this was like a perfect book because it has a bunch of characters I was either interested in or liked reading. So I picked up these because I wanted to read more about Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. And then when we get to Justice League Europe, we've got Power Girl, which I've done videos on. I enjoyed the Connor and Palmiotti stuff, and she's not exactly the same in this book, but it's cool to see her. I just read the first volume of Jeremy Adams' Wally West Flash, and Wally West is in this. Very different because this is unmarried Wally West. But like, that was really cool, and it also made me care about some characters that I wasn't really particularly interested in, or like, I didn't come to this book for them. Like, Fire and Ice are really cool. And I know they have a mini-series going on right now that I might check out some point in the future because of this book. I really like them. Guy Gardner is a lot of fun, and I'd like to read some more stuff with him. Elongated Man and Sue Dibney, they were a whole lot of fun. Their relationship and their banter was really cool. Yeah, a lot of fun. That's all I can really say about this book. It's a lot of fun. They do a good job of bringing characters and villains and stuff in, brushing them to the side, and then bringing them back later, right? We're constantly dealing with Bialya in this. That's cool. I'm sure later on we'll deal with more Apocalypse stuff. We kind of, like, not Apocalypse itself, but, like, we've got Mr. Miracle and Big Barda here, and we deal with, like, we were on Apocalypse for a while, and then the final couple issues of this was Big Barda's staff, I forget what it's called, being stolen. And so we dealt with some, like, Apocalypse stuff. There's this funny romance thing going on with Guy Gardner and Ice, where Fire and Ice joined the team after Guy Gardner had hit his head and become a nice dude. And so Ice thinks that's the real him, and that when he got hit on the head the second time and became a jerk, there's something wrong with him. And so she goes on a date with him, and it goes terribly. But, like, stuff like that is a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this book, and again, I'm bummed that this is sort of where we stop. I have one more trade, Justice League Corporate Maneuvers, which is a collection of issues from Justice League Quarterly, which I'm excited to read that. The problem for me is that's like a year or so after what this trade collects, so I'm missing a chunk of stuff, but I'm hoping that's relatively self-contained stuff since they're basically annuals, but like, 4 times a year because it's quarterly. But I'm excited to read that. I had a lot of fun with this. I want to check out a lot of these characters more. Alright, one complaint. I was going to bring this up and I forgot. Rocket Red, Russian superhero, he, along with Captain Atom, goes to Justice League Europe. On the Apocalypse, Rocket Red gets a new outfit, and I don't like it. I liked the boxy, goofy outfit he had at the start, and I disliked the new outfit. There. I just wanted to throw that out because I had forgotten, and I wanted to bring that up. But anyway, Justice League International, Volume 2, Around the World, really good. Wish there were more trades of this. Unfortunately, there aren't. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.